Have you ever decided that you're going to be someone who lives with no regrets? At some point early in my adulthood, I made that decision and I stuck to it. There were several times where I had a choice to make and I reminded myself, no regrets. And yet, here I am, well into adulthood, looking back on some of those choices, and I gotta admit, mistakes, I have made a few. Welcome to day 5 of 21 days of self-love and mindfulness. I'm the author and your coach for today's video on our lesson called The Cactus Maze. It's a story about an experience I had where I was able to extend some grace to myself. I was looking back at some of those choices in my past, wondering what was I thinking, knowing that I have been someone who has always been pretty intentional about wanting to do the right thing and live with no regrets. So how could I have been so wrong so many times? I got to explore this, and in doing so, learn a lot about myself and my journey while visiting a cactus labyrinth in my happy place, Costa Rica. I hope you enjoy reading this story and extending yourself some grace with the choices in your life. For today's reflection questions, we start with something I was struck with as I began looking at the decisions I had made over the years. How many choices there were, and how many more there would still be in my life. And there were a few that I was really proud of. So first question, what decisions are you most proud of? Take a few minutes, think about that. What gives you the most pride? When you look at your journey and the paths you took, the choices you've made, what gives you pride? What I discovered when I asked myself that question was that the thing that gave me the most pride was not the outcomes, was not success. What gave me pride was the courage it took for me to make the choices that I did. There were times I was in a hard place. There were times when I had to choose between doing the right thing and the easy thing. And seeing how I had made my choices and the decisions actually gave me a lot of satisfaction. Looking back and seeing when I had decided to do the right thing rather than the easy thing, and the courage that took. Even though things may not have been as easy, I didn't regret my choice. So for you, write down what choices you have made that make you proud and why. Next question, how do you feel about the decisions you've made that did not go as planned? Maybe they did not turn out as well as they could have. Confession, for me, most of these are related to relationships I chose, for whatever that's worth. And if I knew then what I know now, I promise you I would make a better choice. But here's the gold in this lesson. What I know now, I know because of what I went through, because of that decision. That decision made me a better person, a better human, smarter, definitely. I learned those lessons because I went through those experiences. I did my best, and it brought me here. Here's a good place. Every time it did not work out, I learned a lesson. Some of us had to go through it more than one time to get the lesson, but that's part of being human. What if the reason we're here as humans is to learn about being human? We do that by making choices and living with the consequences. So give yourself some grace, some love, and be thankful for the lessons you have learned and the wisdom you now have because of the decisions you've made. Third reflection question. What influences have had the biggest impact on your decisions throughout your life? Like I shared earlier, no regrets was a mantra that actually influenced some of the decisions I made. Other influences included my commitment to my kids or my family, my commitment to my higher self and my soul's expressions, even my love for travel and adventure have influenced my decisions. At the end of the day, the decisions I make now must be true to one guideline I have set. If I were to say, why are you making that decision? Why are you choosing that? I want to be able to answer always the same way, because that's who I am. I want to be able to know my choices resonate with who I am as my true self. It's not some risk assessment to be sure that I can get the most favorable outcome. No matter how it works, I'm going to learn and be a better version of me by being true to who I am. I get a lot of peace knowing that. So write down what has influenced your decisions from the past. What does that have to do with who you know you truly are? Take some notes. Look at what you honor and how it aligns to your true self-expression. Feel free to share any of your original thoughts or insights in the comments so that our community can explore the topic even deeper. Now let's look at the last question. Based on what you've seen as you look back on your landscape of decisions, what do you believe is the key to making decisions you can feel good about? What if you didn't have to worry about how it turned out? What if you didn't have to justify whether or not it was, quote, right? What if you were just able to accept and be proud that the decisions you make are expressions of who you are? Consider that that's more likely to end up being a life with no regrets. Please write down your notes and your reflections pages. Put notes in your journals. Take what you've learned about yourself, apply this to your life. Share what's opening up for you, what you're seeing that's making a difference for you. Take the opportunity to make a difference for others in our community by sharing it in the comments. As always, I am inspired by the work that you are doing and your willingness to ask yourself these questions. I look forward to seeing you in day 6. Bless you.